When I came to Britain just a little while back with my rawhide jacket and my 10-gallon hat, things were quiet, not much going on, no riots or nothing. Then the Beatles came along, put up the crash barriers, take a deep breath, run for cover. No need to tell you what happened to these boys. They thought up a sound, some say a noise. It ain't too sweet, it ain't too rough, but it's right for the times. Times are tough. If you ain't a Beatle, that is. Guess they ain't doing so bad. Hit record here and there. Now when you look at all them photographs and things, there's one thing's clear aside from Ringo and his rings. These guys between them, they sure got some hair. I'm losing mine. Don't seem fair. Tried all kinds of things. Nothing works. Guess I'll get me a toupee, Beatle style. What else? Now my daughter, as a rule, is quiet as a mouse, and you'd hardly ever know she was around the house. But when them Beatles start giving out, she takes on to hollering and starts to shout. Jumps clean out of her pram, shakes her rattle like a football fan. Doggone. 9 months old and Beatle crazy. Well, I figured one day that I ought to know just what happens at a Beatles show. So I phoned for tickets and the fella said, fine, we've got 2 here for 1989. So I took 'em, had 'em framed, hung on the wall. Might sell out if the price is right. Now there's Beatles in the bathtub, Beatles on the floor, and there's a couple now crawling through my door. Beatles in the waste pipe and Beatles in the sink, and them Beatles are smarter than some folks think. Can't shake 'em loose. Would somebody pass the DDT? They're still there. George, John, Ringo, and Paul. Think I'll head back to the hills. See y'all. Well, I fell in love with a pretty little girl. Her name I do not know. I see her every evening wherever I may go. She wears a white-laced handkerchief, it's marked with T and U. You'll know her when you see her, my little girl dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl, the little girl dressed in blue. I met her on the street one day, she looked at me so shy, and when the horses saw her, they both began to fly. They ripped and reared and tossed and scared, and down the street we flew, until we passed that pretty little girl, the little girl dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl, the little girl dressed in blue. If I can find out where she lives and where she does belong, I'll tell to her my story, the burden of my song. But if I cannot find her, my heart will break in two, and I will die and bid farewell to the little girl dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl, the little girl dressed in blue.
was William Brown. He worked for a wage in a Yorkshire town. He turned the wheel from left to right, from 8 in the morning till 6 at night. Keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', and do a little more each day. Now the boss one day to William came. He said, look here, young, what's your name? We're far from pleased with what you do. Hurry that wheel or out you go. Keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', and do a little more each day. Turned and he made a run 3 times round instead of 1. He turned so hard he was quickly made the royal high turner of his trade. Keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel turnin', and do a little more each day. Now William turned with a saintly smile. The goods they grew to such a pile. They filled the room and the room next door, and overflowed to the basement floor. Keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', and do a little more each day. Nation thrilled to the wondrous tale. The nudes appeared in the sketch and the mail. The railways brought excursions down, all for to gaze on William Brown. Keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', and do a little more each day. What's sad the sequel now is to tell. He turned out more than the boss could sell. The market fell and the price came down. 7 more days and they sacked young Brown. Keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', keep that wheel a-turnin', and do a little more each day. As I was sitting with jug and spoon on one fine morning, the month of June, a birdie sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the Jug of Punch. Tooraloo-raloo, 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 tooraloo-raloo. A birdie sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the Jug of Punch. What more diversion can a man desire than to court a girl by a neat turf fire, with a carry pippin to crack and crunch, and on the table a jug of punch. Tooraloo-raloo, 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 tooraloo-raloo. With a carry pippin to crack and crunch, and on the table a jug of punch. Doctors with all their art cannot cure the impression that's on the heart. Even the cripple forgets his hunch when he's safe outside of a jug of punch. Tooraloo-raloo, 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 tooraloo-raloo. Even the cripple forgets his hunch when he's safe outside of a jug of punch. And when I'm dead and in my grave, no costly tombstone will I crave. Just lay me down in my native beat, with a jug of punch at my head and feet. Tooraloo-raloo, 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 tooraloo-raloo. Just lay me down in my native beat, with a jug of punch at my head and feet. One evening in summer, as twilight was fading, way down by a river I wandered alone, and there I saw an old man both weeping a baby that was not his own. Oh, sweet baby, lie easy, your own daddy will never be known. They'll be weeping and wailing and sobbing and sighing all over a baby that is not your own. Now when I first married your innocent mother, I thought like a fool I was blessed with a wife. But to my misfortune and sad lamentations, she turned out to be just the curse of my life. Oh, sweet baby, lie easy, your own daddy will never be known. They'll be weeping and wailing and sobbing and sighing all over a baby that is not your own. 'Twas always the same to a ball or a party. She'd leave me here rocking the cradle alone, while poor little laddie, he thinks I'm his daddy. How little he knows that I am not his own. Oh, sweet baby, lie easy, your own daddy will never be known. They'll be weeping and wailing and sobbing and sighing all over a baby that is not your own. Come all you young fellows who one day may marry, if you'll take my advice, you'll leave women alone. Or by the Lord Harry, if ever you marry, she'll bring you a baby and swear it's your own. Oh, sweet baby, lie easy, your own daddy will never be known. They'll be weeping and wailing and sobbing and sighing all over a baby that is not your own. The sun comes a-creeping o'er the eastern hill, and the air smells sweet all around. The miner's thinking of the money to come as he's working in the deep of the ground. The miner's thinking of the money to come as he's working in the deep of the ground. Rain comes a-falling from a thunderous sky, and the mist creeps in from the sea. But the prisoner's thinking of the summer days as he's walking to the gallows tree. The prisoner's thinking of the summer days as he's walking to the gallows tree. There's no more money and the time is short, and the world's full of trouble all the way. And the young man's thinking of the pretty girl who's waiting at the end of the day. The young man's thinking of the pretty girl who's waiting at the end of the day. And as the seasons pass me by and the blossoms fade away, then I
thinking of that dreadful morn when the green turned into gray. Gray. Then I get to thinking of that dreadful morn with the green turned